I have 2 feet, you have 2 feet. You go to some weird places when you're out here by yourself sometimes. It's just kind of a weird circuitous? I don't know. It's a strange meandering way to get that on the wall. Now you have to do it the old-fashioned way. This is what you came to see. Oh, look at that. That better not be locked. This has been a pretty typical, most things go well, a couple things just go terribly wrong kind of install. Oh, good morning. Welcome back to the job site. Today's mission is to install this here sign up on that there wall. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how to do it properly and legally in the state of Washington. To the best of my ability, but it'll be fine. This thing is going to be a slam dunk. There's nothing crazy about this. I've done hundreds of these signs. So this should be a walk in the park. So sit tight. It's going to be a good one. And let's get busy. What we got on here? Phillips it is. So with a sign like this, the first thing I do is lay it all out like it's going to be on the wall with all your proper spacing and all that good stuff. But in order to do that, I got to take that cover off and make sure that cloud cabinet there is where it needs to be. So then I know that's where the sign needs to be. Remember. So I'll pop this off so that I can see where all the mounting holes are through this into the raceways. And then once I have this locked in, then that kind of locks in where everything else is. It's pretty simple. I mean, there's not a lot of math you really have to do with this, just basic math, addition, subtraction, that kind of stuff. Stuff you learn in school actually does help you sometimes. By this day and age, you can learn that in a 20-minute YouTube video, just like what we're doing here. All right, so that's off. That's out of the way. Yeah, so got all these holes where all this stuff's going to go into the raceway, and I just need to line everything up. I'm just using the cover screws to loosely get it where it needs to be. Where is this hole? There. Okay. Let's try it again. Maybe a little bit easier to see that. Alright, at the bottom where it needs to be. What kind of screws did they use? These are all lined up for the most part. It's pretty close. Okay, so that kind of locks in my spacing in between all my raceways, so I know where everything needs to go. All my bolts anyway. So it's about 41 inches tall, just over 41 and a quarter. So that's actually really close. This doesn't need to be perfect, just close to perfect. I think I'm probably going to flip it over once I know where everything needs to be. It's just easier to drill that way. God, that's the third cut on my fingers I've gotten today. They're just little ones, they're just annoying. Alright, what am I doing here? Let's grab some tape. So really what I'm doing is just trying to find center of the sign. And then I measure everything off of that. It just makes it easy. Let's make sure I got my spacing right. I know this side is nominally where it needs to be. Alright, let's find center. Okay, that is at the top. And it was 25/8 to the center, which is half of 41 and a quarter. Yes. Alright, so now I know the center of my sign. Let's find the width. 126 and a half. Yeah, that cut was in a really inconvenient spot. You just get blood everywhere. Let's make a little sign guy's band-aid. Okay. 63 and a quarter. That's what I call precision eyeballing. So you can be off a little bit. Sign this wide, you can be off an inch. No one will really know unless they watch this video. And then they'll know. Alright, so I got my height, vertical center, and my horizontal center. Now I can take that off, flip everything over. I'll go up on the wall, find where the studs are, which is nice because I took the sign down that was here, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago. So I know where everything is. It's going to be super easy. Put my anchors in the wall, drill my power holes, come down here, transfer all that onto these signs, get it all drilled, and then we just stick it on the wall. Pretty easy. And I got here at about 10 o'clock Let's see, can we guess when I'm gonna be done? I bet I'm gonna be done by noon. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. All right, so now that's out of the way, I just need to find out where to put my bolts, or where I can put them on the sign. So each one of these raceways, and this is pretty standard, pretty typical of how raceways are built, kind of a side cross section. This flange right here, or tab, that's where all the mounting is. You can mount inside on the bottom, but you just don't need to. These things are so light. 3 bolts each. Actually, I might be able to get away with 2 bolts each on these because they got to be every 4 feet. So we'll see how that maths out once I get the measurements from the wall and where the studs are. But for now, I just need to know where I can put my anchors on the wall. It just has to be for this horizontal line on each one. I hope that made sense. It'll make sense in a minute, I promise. 5 inches up from the center, that's where I can put my bolts in a horizontal line. I better write that down. So I used to just write all my measurements on my hand. Just back of your hand. But now I just write it on my tape measure with this piece of green tape. Center, 5 inches up. Topper, about 20 1/4. On the bottom, like 10 7/8. Yeah, 10 7/8. All right, so I got all my measurements from center. Now I know where I can put all my bolts. Let's go find some studs. All right, I know this isn't a very exciting part of doing sign installs. Not a lot is, really. Just wanted to show it to you. This is what I do. Full process, as much as possible. So these are, I call them hanger bolts. I think that's an industry standard, but they're known as furniture bolts as well. I think you've seen me use them in a previous video. If you've seen it. So you just double nut these on, and then you just tighten them together against each other, and you can run them in. So I'm only going to use 3 of these to get the signs hung. I'll show you more here in a second. I'll make sure these are nice and tight, not too tight. Okay. Yeah, so I'm only going to use one of these in the center-ish, in the middle, and then just take some lag screws, 3/8 lag screws, and then run these in on the sides. Now we'll see if I can get 2 in the bottom. We'll find out. All right, let's go drill. Alrighty. I do love a wood wall. Oh, and I parked the truck perfectly. Look at that. Oh, do I even have a center on this wall? Oh, I love this. Love this. So there's been a few signs on this wall in the past, so I already have a center line marked out. I'm going to double check it, of course, but I'll find out here in a second. 95, 94, close. What is that? 94.5 then? Yeah, it's within a 1/4 inch. So that's a stud, so that's basically on center, more or less. Might as well make it on center. 93, what's half of 93? 46.5. That's the complicated math I'm talking about. All right, where's my pen? Let's see, 46.5. All right, so that's vertical center. There, horizontal center right there. So yeah, we're about a 1/2 inch to the right. And I need to go 5 inches up from center. And about a 1/2 inch over. So that's my first mounting hole. It'll work. Oh, it's nice. There's a coffee stand right next door, so I get the good smells. I love coffee. Boom! I do love that noise. Alright. So now I go 4 feet. Either side. Actually, you know what? I need to go measure the sign just to make sure these will work. Bear with me. Because I think if I go 4 feet that way, it'll be off the sign. So I might only have to go 2 feet that way. All right, hang tight. So I can go 4 feet to the right. It's close enough. Okay. So now I'm just going to drill the hole in the wall and then put the lag in it later. Once the sign's up. And then 2 feet to the left. Okay, so that's my middle raceway. 20 1/4 up center. That's for my top anchor. Give it back. Thank you. And then with this one, I just got to go 2 feet to be 2 feet. This one's got a lot of bolts in it. Doesn't need this many. 2 have been fine, but I just like basing everything off the center. Easier for my brain. It struggles enough as it is. Work. I could use a shorter level for this. That's what I got. I also got to start thinking about the power holes too. Do I have to run this all on the outside? I think the way they have that sign set up is only one of the raceways has a switch on it. Oh, I know what. Oh, okay. I think I just had an epiphany of sorts. I'll show you in a minute. It'll be relevant in a moment. 10 7/8 down. Okay, I'm actually going to measure them out this time before I do that. 2 feet, 2 feet. I have 2 feet, you have 2 feet. You go to some weird places when you're out here by yourself sometimes. Mentally, not, and physically. There's some weird stuff I think about. Drill, baby, drill, baby. Oh, yeah. All right, last anchor. Then I'll tell you about the epiphany I had. It's not yours. It's the only drawback to doing these this way. They get stuck. Still prefer to do it that way though. All right. Change battery. Figure out where I want to put my power holes. Actually, I do know where I want to put my power hole. It's got to be up by that one. I'm very scatterbrained when I'm on installs, if you haven't noticed already. It's just kind of a weird circuitous? I don't know. It's a strange meandering way to get that on the wall, which is, I do it weirdly. All right, hang on. All right, so here's the epiphany I had. You notice you got secondary wire, the 12-volt wire coming out of each raceway, which that module sits on top of. So that's where all the jumps are coming from. So you only have power coming into this top raceway, and that's where the power supply is that runs all 3 raceways and that module. So the National Electric Code, the NEC, states that the power coming into the sign from the building has to be within 2 feet of the switch. So I'm going to have a bolt more or less here, right about there, which is within 2 feet of the switch. So I'm just going to go down like 4 inches from that from that top left bolt hole and make my power hole. Nice and easy. Let's go do one more hole, work the power up, and chuck these on the wall. I hope that made sense, the word salad I just gave you. So, very top raceway, 4 inches down from that bolt is going to be my power hole. I hope that made sense. I'm a very keep it simple, stupid kind of guy, especially when it comes to signs. And I like cool stuff, but trying to reinvent the wheel to save yourself one step, don't agree with. Okay, there's my power. So a nice brand new paddle bed. It's gonna make a mess. Oh, I have a broom. All right, let's go hang some signs. Or now I gotta drill holes in the signs. I like to make nice big holes so if I'm off by a little bit, it doesn't matter. I kind of hope you weren't expecting to learn anything from this video. This is just me doing my job. You're just along for the ride. Thanks for watching. So we're gonna go 1/2 inch down. I might speed this up for you a little bit. There's not really much to explain here. Boom. Some power setup going here. MC cable. So if you saw one of my previous videos where I removed an illegally installed sign, this is what I was talking about. This is how it's supposed to be done. So you have a fitting, 3/8 fitting, and it goes through a nice drilled 7/8 hole in the back of your sign, like that. And you have a lock washer, or a lock ring rather, and that spins on your fitting. It's pretty good and tight. I like to give it just a little bonk, just for good measure. So that's how wire is supposed to go into the sign. Not like how that last sign was. I'll show you a little clip, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. But all we do is cut off all this excess that we really don't need. It's nice just to have little bundles of wire on hand in case you need a patch or something. And then we wire it together. All right, so let's get these things on the truck and on the wall. Oops. All right, let's go see if I really know what I'm doing. Or I hope so, or this would be embarrassing. All right, got all my goodies. All right. Going up. Yeah, and this raceway weighs maybe 15 pounds. That's it. That sign hanging. It's gonna be a good looking sign. What's going on here? I have to do it the old fashioned way. Now I can just run in. Nice and easy like. Before we tighten it too much, take this sign to a new level. Yeah, I'm not going to apologize for that one. Double check. Boom. Alright, let's go get one more. These are just beer cans. Just big beer cans. And I love it. God, when I first started doing signs, nigh on 20 years ago, this would have been a neon sign, and it would have weighed probably 250 pounds. But no, not no more. Now it's 30. This little shelf. Oh, come on. I hate getting cuts on my fingers because it makes it so fiddly. I'm surprised how many cuts I get. My fingers, hands. There's one time I almost cut the top of my finger off. This is what you came to see. Aggressive wrenching. Perfect. Show you something here. So if you look down the side, I don't know if you can really see it, but that bottom raceway is cocked out. It's because it's riding on that siding. So I think I'm gonna have to back those bolts out and put some spacers behind it to make sure it's all nice and straight. Because that looks weird from here. It'll look even weirder from down there, but that's signs for you. All right, one more sign. I think I put enough wire on this, he says sarcastically. It's like I've done this before. Perfect. Alright, so now I need to get my light box, stick it on here, go through the wiring. That won't take long. Gotta get up in the attic and connect the primaries together. But let's go grab us a module. See if all my math worked out. Of course, I don't have any of my driver bits ready. Let's try it again. Once more, this feeling. Oh, it's so close. This bottom raceway is off by like a 1/4 inch. I'm not really sure what they mean by these letters on here. I'm gonna have to splice these in. I'm confused. Okay, so it's a double power supply. So I do have to splice these in here. And they didn't give me that much. See, I can't even use this now. It's like this was all in an effort to save a step. And here I am having to rewire their sign. Anyways, rant's over. I know what I gotta do, so let's just do it. I love doing stuff I shouldn't have to do. Things unnecessarily complicated and make your installers upset. I do love signs. I do love installing signs. What's with these wire nuts? And I think what I do with these is pop them into here, but I can't do that now. So I gotta take it apart. Might gonna be a long video now. Yeah, that's enough. Chuck a couple more screws in this, and hook up the power, then go home. Installed. Let's go do some power. Always the fun part. What am I going to find when I open up this hatch? Oh, that's not the access. Where is the access? It's probably on the roof. Well, that was all for naught. So I just tried popping that access hatch up, because usually that's where your access to the attic is. Not this time. I mean, there's access to a J-box. It was only like a floor joist high. So not a lot of room to squeeze a man through there. But I think inside of that little house is where the wiring is. At least I really hope there's a way in here. I guess we'll have to go find out. You're coming with me. We'll figure this out together. Oh, look at that. That better not be locked. That's locked and everything. No. Well, I doubt the owner has the key to that. This is the reality of doing sign work. This has been a pretty typical, most things go well, a couple things just go terribly wrong kind of install. It's frustrating, but you power through it. You find a way to make it work. Just a little bit of frustration, like with that module, that could have been done a lot differently. And on my end, when I took that other sign down, I didn't really care. Just disconnected the power, boom, because I saw that access hatch down there, assuming there's your access. Never would have guessed it was up here until I was faced with this. But you know, you live and you learn. Make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Just learn from your mistakes. I'll at least button that sign up, because they were so excited to see their sign up today. That's just what really a kick in the balls. I hate having to give people bad news like that. It's like, oh yeah, your sign's up, but it's not energized because I can't physically get in to hook it up. Signs. Well, this has been a good example of what goes right and what goes wrong. You can have everything go right until it goes wrong. Gotta roll with them punches. Get some screws, put that cover back on, let the nice lady know what's up. Oh, it's so close. Okay. So it should pop right on. Yeah, no, I really don't have a lot to say now. Upset with myself. Could have done just a little bit more legwork, but I never would have expected it to be up there, honestly. Because that little house built just right on top of the roof. Sometimes like they'll build the facade out and up, so that'll just be a big nice open void in there, but the roof's like here. Now maybe like here. Oh well, is what it is. Sign still looks great. Alright, one more cover. This thing is cleaning. Alright, let's get some white. Oh, and if anybody was keeping track, it is like, it's almost 1 o'clock now. Definitely did not make my 2-hour target, but ta-da! At least for now. Get this power buttoned up. Yeah. Yeah, it looks really good. The only problem... Oh, perfect. Awesome. I kind of figured she would have the landlord's phone number. Might be able to get this done, or get this done today. That makes me excited again. Find out. Stay tuned. So great news. Just talked to the landlord. He gave me the code to a lockbox to open that door. Let's see, here we are. And no, I'm not going to tell you the code. Come out. Is there a light switch in here? There it is. Imagine that. Alright, I think I'm going to do this safely. Put you down until I get up on the roof. So I got to go up there. Alright, so we're on the roof. Landlord said he's been up here before, so can I figure out how this key works? Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to make sure this door stays open. Oh, that was a lifesaver. So glad. She just happened to have the landlord's phone number, which, if you're a tenant, you should have the landlord's phone number. That's not always the case. I was expecting, even if she did have the landlord's phone number, he wouldn't be able to make it out here, or be able to help me at all. But he sounds like a resourceful, dealt with a lot of stuff kind of landlord. He was like, oh yeah, I got a lockbox in the back. I'll get you up on the roof. That same key will also open the door you need. I love it when things work out. So that's what I saw from that access hatch down below. And this is the power from the sign. So I just need to connect them up. Just cut this off. Oh, I'm very happy. Very, very happy this is working out. I love when a customer's just happy as a clam. Because they've been waiting months for this sign. Through permitting and manufacturing and all that stuff. Things just take a while. So I usually don't have to add a junction box like this because it's usually already one there. But not this time. Okay, now I'll go like there. Even though I know I turn this off. Test it. Dead. This is actually a really nice attic. Usually aren't this nice. So now we'll go back under there. Come up this way. Get that little bad boy off right there. This is probably the easiest part of all of this. Truth be told. It's just boom, fittings, boom, junction box, wire nut, strap it down. Go turn on the breaker and go home. Especially with those snap-in fittings like that. Just threw a bunch of stuff in my pocket, not knowing exactly what I'd need. Screws, couple wire nuts, straps. Yeah, 'cause you don't want to come all the way up in an attic like this and then just, oh shoot, I need that. Or I need this. And then you have to go back downstairs. I was really bummed out earlier, but it worked out. Yeah, so again, National Electric Code says you need to have a strap within 1 inch, 12 inches, or 1 foot of a junction box. Okay, that's that. Got my garbage. Down, turn on the breaker, and it'll work. It will work. No doubts. All right, here we go. Timer's on. The breaker is on. Well, we got it done. Got it done. Oh, that was a struggle. Well, not really a lot of struggle. It was a little bit of struggle. I mean, I like it when things go better than that. They don't always go better than that, but it worked out. It worked out. You just keep going until you can't do it no more. But that's really all I've got to say about this one. Just persevere. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.